Let's go.
The echo goes away when you go live.
Uh-uh.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Steve, Chris, and we got special guest Nate here with us tonight. Thanks for joining us on another new episode of the Die Hard Boston Sports Fans Cast. Tonight, we're going to start by talking a little bit about ourselves, why we got into Boston sports, etc. Let's go ahead and start with you, Chris.
I was born into it, basically. I've been watching all the sports from I was like 5 or 6 years old. So I've gone through the pain over the years.
Yeah, I can certainly agree with you on that. How about you, Nate?
Well, it was kind of an easy transition for me. I'm Canadian, so being in a different country, you kind of just go along with what everybody else is doing. So my dad was a huge Red Sox fan, huge Bruins fan, Celtics. I won't get into football because let's face it, that's a different story for a different day. But no, I mean, I basically just I was born into it. My dad got me into sports. It was something he wanted me to be a part of, and just started watching them and fell in love with it.
Cool. But you're a really huge hockey fan, right?
You'd be hard pressed to find a bigger hockey nut than me.
So, what made you kind of really get passionate about hockey?
My dad put me on a pair of ice skates when I was 3 years old, and it was the most fun I ever had. My dad worked in trucking when I was a little kid, so he and I didn't get to spend too much time together, but the one constant was that every winter a pond about 10, 15 minutes away from my house always froze over, and he and I always went out there, and it was a tradition every year. So I kept doing that, figured it was just something people did for fun, and then one night he turned on hockey and the magic all started.
That's awesome. I can tell you're really into it. You're really smiling and stuff when you're talking about it, so that's pretty
Hard
cool.
not.
Man.
It's just Christmas today, Steve.
Nah, that's good.
Oh yeah, it's Christmas, and then the draft is my birthday, so it's all good. It's all gravy.
Cool. All right, yeah, just why I became a fan, pretty much like everyone else here, is kind of born into it. My dad's always been a huge Boston fan. Growing up, I remember the Super Bowl where the Patriots got absolutely destroyed by the Chicago Bears, and even though it happened, I couldn't stop watching them. And after that, it was Bill Buckner costing the Red Sox the World Series. Yeah, going way back. It's just very passionate about it, obviously, but just kind of grown from there. I just can't stop watching them. So, on to some, let's go ahead and talk. Let's go right into the NHL tonight. Trade deadline was today. There's a lot of moves today. The Bruins actually made a move right before the deadline and got Drew Stafford from the Jets. What do you guys think about that move?
You want to take it first, Nate? I think it's a good move, but I'll let Nate go with it. So, hey, Nate.
I think it's a phenomenal pickup. Stafford has been a Bruin killer throughout the years, especially his time in Buffalo. People remember the trade that sent him and Tyler Myers up to Winnipeg that brought Evander Kane into Buffalo. A trade that coincidentally really worked out well for both sides. But no, I like Drew Stafford. He's a good skater. He can play anywhere in the top nine. He's got a hell of a shot. And unlike some guys on the team that maybe we're paying to do so, he's not afraid to stand in front of the net. And, he's going to how he's going to score his goals is he's going to clean up a lot of garbage. He's not going to pick corners or anything like that. He's going to clean up the garbage from 3 feet, and he's going to do it with a lot of production to him. So, no, I like the pickup very much so.
He had a couple hat tricks against the Bruins, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he had. They beat when he was in Buffalo. They beat the Bruins 6-3 one night, and him and Jason Pominville both had a hat trick.
Wow. Yeah, I was pretty surprised. Pretty much 5 minutes before the deadline, they're like, "Oh, yep, Bruins didn't do anything," and then checked a few minutes later, and Bruins have traded for a forward, so it's kind of caught me off guard there, but. I like the trade as well. I mean, a conditional 6th-round pick. Can't really go wrong with that. It's just, we all know how Sweeney's done with trades, but I thought he did really well with this one. Hopefully this guy comes in. Has he been hurt a lot this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
He missed a couple games with a hand injury, and then I think he missed some more time with a foot injury later on, so...
Oh, okay. I was hoping that's what it was. He only has like 4 goals this year, I think. So hopefully he comes in raring to go. He could certainly use the production. Where do you think he'll play? What line?
It depends on what they want to do with Peter Cehlarik, I think. I think he's been effective enough to remain in the top 6, and I think Stafford will fit in on the top 9. And to the delight of some, I'm sure this is probably looking towards the end of Jimmy Hayes. So I have the condition on the 6th-round pick if anybody's interested. But, it looks like I would expect the 3rd line.
Cool. Yeah, that should work out pretty well. And how about the Colin Miller hit last night? Do you think it was clean, dirty?
Chris, I'll let you take the lead on this one.
No, he's blinking.
While he's waiting there, CJ wants to know what Jerome McGinley was traded for. He was traded for a 4th-round pick, and in absolutely stunning news, he will no longer be wearing the number 12 as Marian Gaborik wears that in Los Angeles. McGinley will now be wearing number 88.
Wow.
Which is going to be different.
Wonder how he picked that number.
I can think of a couple 88s that are playing pretty well in the NHL, so I think he figured maybe his goal totals will go up with the number.
Yeah, it's I don't know about you, but didn't it seem like there was awful lot of trades where like the trading team paid a lot of the salary?
Yeah, I think so. I don't understand.
You back?
Almost there, Chris.
Alright, well, at least we still got his picture there. Yeah, I just thought it was a lot, maybe overthinking it, but I just thought there was a lot of it this year where whoever the trading team was paying a lot of the salary. I'm like, I just thought that was kind of odd, but maybe it's salary cap reasons.
Just to follow up, the condition on the 6th-round pick that Boston sent to Winnipeg. If the Bruins win the Stanley Cup, it's a 2018 conditional. So if the Bruins win the Stanley Cup this year or sign Drew Stafford in the offseason, the 6th-round pick becomes a 5th-round pick.
Yeah, still not bad.
You lose no worse than a 5th, so
yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, I remember last year when they were giving out 2nd-round picks and stuff. For Lee Stempniak and etc. So, yeah, so what do you think of that Colin Miller hit? I mean, personally, I didn't think it was really a bad hit. It was probably more the result of the injury, maybe, but...
I didn't have a problem with it. I think a lot of the issue that people took was that Vermeestrov got knocked out.
Mm.
Obviously, I'm glad to see he's okay. But I really...
Nico.
What's that, Chris? Yeah, I think the majority of the problem is that it's not so much Miller hit him. I think Burmistrov just ran into him.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you heard anything about them, like, maybe in the future, like, reviewing hits like that in-game and maybe not throwing the guy out?
I think there's a difference there because I think if a guy can get up, you can call a minor penalty. But in a situation where a player gets carted off the ice like that, I think for a player's precaution, you have to take him off the ice because you don't want a guy targeting him back. You know, my grandfather said last night, "Oh, it's just the referee not doing his job, and you got to keep the guy in the game."
Yeah.
He's a cranky old man. No, I think that where there's only one referee there and 5 players, I think it had the potential to get real nasty if Miller stayed in that game. So I don't think the hit was a penalty, but I do agree with throwing him out.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of it that way, but had my Bruins hat on, I guess.
TJ, in short, do I think the Bruins should have taken a run at Jerome Iginla? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Hey, Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Nate, why exactly do you think this shit took a run at Iginla?
Familiarity, and especially with a lot of the young guys that Bruce Cassidy wants to put in the lineup nowadays, with guys like Solaric and giving Spooner more of a role. And I think towards the end of the season, we might see Jacob Forsbacka, Carlson, Anders Bjork, Charlie McAvoy, all these guys coming up from college. I think Iginla, again, with the familiarity of playing in Boston, but also, you know, who better that was traded over the last 3 days? Who's a better mentor to young kids than a guy like Jerome Iginla? You're talking playoff experience, a guy who's been to the Stanley Cup final. I just like the fit.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I guess, too, right? He's undecided about playing next year, so maybe he comes in here in the offseason if he decides to keep going.
We'll just have to see on that. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. Well, they asked him today about it, and he said he was still 50-50, so I loved him when he was here.
I mean, the only thing that's eluded him in his career is a cut, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got nothing to prove. He's an obvious Hall of Famer.
no doubt about it.
Which kind of made his decision to accept the trade to Los Angeles a little shocking, but
Yeah,
Right.
and too, like the Kings, they still have Ben Bishop and Quick, right?
yeah, I'm surprised they didn't trade one of those guys.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, definitely. But on to the Celtics-Cavs game tonight. You see Coach Bill was in the house tonight wearing a suit?
No hoodie?
No, he's in a suit.
Oh, come on. You can't
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah,
Not a lot.
yeah.
Well, it's always good that they support the local teams.
Yeah, I love seeing stuff like that. You always see, you know, athletes and coaches always at the, like, another local team's game. Yeah, it's pretty cool, definitely.
Right?
Yeah. Maybe they're scouting LeBron to come play tight end or something. He could probably do it.
You can't just fall down all the time if you're going to play football. You can't
Yeah.
flop.
Yeah, did you see him tonight? Oh. Actually got a call from it, too. Not surprising, I guess.
Right?
This is crazy. Yeah, and too, Chris Long came out today. He said he's not coming back to the Patriots. He enjoyed his time here. He was very appreciative of Bill bringing him in, helping him get a ring. So, not surprised he's leaving, I guess. I guess I was hopeful that he was going to stick around because he was helpful. He definitely helped out in the Super Bowl, so he had a couple of big plays. But now he wants to get paid. Can't fault him for that.
They got to spend the money somewhere. They got the money to spend, and now they got to figure out who they want to put the money on. I'm very shocked Garoppolo's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if somebody came to them and blew them away, I think they'd still be hard pressed to say no. Like, team like San Francisco, who Colin Kaepernick is, declining his player option, so they're going to have 0 quarterbacks on the roster. Somebody like them could throw a crap load of picks and stuff at them.
They got what, the 2 seed?
49ers?
Yeah, I think they got the 2 seed.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds right.
Well, we'll take it for Garoppolo. Yeah. I would.
Oh, yeah, Jesus.
I would too.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, because you got to look at it this way. They got to either pay him or do something with him. Brady's playing on, 3 to 5 potentially? That's a lot of time of sitting on the bench.
Yeah, like if he waits towards the end, he'll be 30 years old.
Exactly.
So, that's kind of nuts.
I mean, you don't know how long Brady's going to go, but the way he's conditioned, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Right, so I guess they could do the unthinkable of trading Brady next year.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Get the pitchforks up.
You're a Pats fan and you just said trade and Brady in the same sentence?
Yeah, I don't feel right now.
My grandfather I was talking about this the other night too. Can you imagine how bad it looks on them? They trade away Jones, they trade away Collins, they've basically committed this whole thing to Hightower. Can you imagine how bad it looks now if you've traded away Jones and Collins and then you don't get a job done with Hightower?
Absolutely excellent point.
Yep.
You nailed it. Nailed it on that one.
And I mean, the return 100%. On the 2 trades for Jones and Collins were nothing.
No.
Right.
And now you're going to lose arguably the best linebacker in the league? That doesn't look good.
No, it looks horrible. Yeah, they did get Jonathan
Well, he was talking
Cooper
about
back.
warm weather. He wanted to go to a warm weather team. And I was talking to Steve off air about it. Imagine him with Oakland. Him and Mac together.
Yeah.
But something's got to get done. I don't know what exactly, but my guess is it's going to be hard to re-sign him now that he's going to be a free agent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, somebody's going to throw a shitload of money at him.
Unless he pretty much told him that he's not signing and he just wants to move along, which is also possible, I suppose.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, negotiations might have got a little nasty.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, and Mike Reese, too. I don't know if you saw the article, but he was saying Butler and the Patriots got a lot done as far as, like, an extension.
Hightower.
He might. Who knows? I could see him going to the 49ers.
It's possible, I
Yeah.
suppose. I mean, if you want warm weather, he's not going to want to stay up here.
Right.
I mean, not everyone's in it for titles. He's already won 2, so maybe he's looking at he just wants to play in warm weather and play his career out, break the bank, shall we say.
Right. Yeah, you can't really fault him.
No, I mean, as a fan, it pisses you off, but I mean, when you take the fan out of it, you understand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly tough to do that sometimes, but who
Right.
knows? I mean, if he's in it all for the money and I don't know how much room the Jets cap is, but I don't really care, but I mean, they could make a move, just to try to piss off the Patriots. They've done that before.
Wipe the smile off your face, Nate. It's not happening.
I was watching SportsCenter this morning, and the one thing Adam Schefter said that was a really good point to me was that I think the one thing that might help them in getting Hightower back is the fact that they still have Patricia.
Hmm.
If Patricia had gone elsewhere to be a head coach, maybe Hightower follows suit, but I mean, the fact that he's still here might help him out.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I'd like to see him stick around. But, yeah, back to Butler, too. Mike Reese was saying during the season last year, Patriots and Butler had a lot of good talks about an extension and stuff, so he seemed to think an extension was going to get done before March 9th with him.
Decent.
Yeah.
Gotta lock him up.
Oh,
Gotta lock somebody up.
Oh.
Can't let them all walk.
That would be catastrophic if you let both of them go.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. Yep. You'd probably be pulling some people off the Tobin.
So, Nate, did any trade surprise you that happened? Kind of under the radar, shall we say? Was surprising to you? You too, Steve?
What's that, in the NHL?
NHL, yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
I guess Mark Streit getting traded twice was kind of weird.
Right.
He ended up on the Penguins, right? So it's like, jeez.
Which I'm sure the Flyers just loved.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure the Flyers loved that their best defenseman went from their team to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, wow.
So, who do you think the winners and losers are of the day of the NHL trades?
Despite how many moves they made, I'm going to say Montreal is a loser. I don't get what they did. I mean, Dwight King, Andreas Martinson, Steve Ott, who's a joke. Who else did they bring up there? Jordy Ben I like. And then they got one more player whose name slips me at the moment. But, yeah, I don't get what they're doing. I don't get their motivation. I think I said earlier that they were just throwing darts at the wall, and whatever name they stuck to was who they were trading for. Winners at the deadline, I'm going to say Pittsburgh. Mark Streit is a hell of a pickup. Real solid, can play top four, and they just bolster an already strong back end. In terms of a trade that surprised me a little bit, and it was late after the Bruins Drew Stafford trade was announced, the Columbus Blue Jackets acquired Lauri Korpikoski from the Dallas Stars in exchange for Dylan Hetherington. That one surprised me a little bit because everything I had read is that the Blue Jackets were really high on him. He was going to be one of their top guys for a long time.
What would you give?
Okay, we lost you there, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Were you there?
Yeah.
Steve, what would you give Sweeney a grade for the trade deadline?
I'd give him a B. I mean, I thought Stafford was a good pickup. He gave up basically a bag of hockey pucks to get him, which is pretty impressive for Sweeney. I mean, we all know his history of trades recently. What about you guys?
So they got a big guy. They got a big guy who plays like he should. Jimmy Hayes should pay attention.
Yeah, he's probably going to be on the 9th floor now.
I'll give Don a B-. I think it's B+. I think it's a solid trade. It's not anything that's gonna, make analysts say, "Wow, the Bruins are a contender now." They didn't get worse. I think Stafford makes them better instantly. I had read a report earlier in the day, and then after 4 o'clock, that the Bruins were close on 2 other deals, which I'll get to in a minute, but. No, like I said, they didn't get worse, but they made themselves better. But it's not going to be one of those deals that ever makes people say, "Oh, they're a contender in the East now."
I thought Washington did pretty well too by getting Shattenkirk. I really didn't see that one coming.
But in all reality, doesn't it make a lot of sense that Washington would make that move?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to buy everything to get Ovechkin his cup.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And now, we'll see if it pays off for him, Anything can happen.
As I had previously mentioned, the Bruins earlier today were close on 2 other trades. Talks ultimately wound up falling through. They were close on a deal that would have sent Charlie McAvoy to the Tampa Bay Lightning for Andre Palat. And they were also close on a deal that would have sent Matt Bolesky to the San Jose Sharks for Melker Karlsson. So I was definitely pleased with the restraint on those deals. Both of them.
Wow. Wonder why they didn't pull the trigger.
Well, it puts you guys on the hot seat. Would you guys have traded McAvoy for Palat?
Me? No.
Ooh.
I like McAvoy. I was pretty happy when they picked him. So.
I was committed to McAvoy, being one of the guys in the future, but Palat was as close as I came to saying, okay, maybe they ought to do this.
Right. I mean, McAvoy's unproven at this point, so you don't really know what you have yet.
Right.
You
might have something or you might not. Time will ultimately tell on that, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm more committed to finding out what all the young guys can do at this point. I mean, we're already pretty much going down that road, so I just like to see how it all plays out with them, and then they come up here and suck, and you find a way to move on from them. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And now that the groundwork for that trade has been laid, 4 or 5 years from now we're going to look back on this and say, wow, the Bruins made a great deal and not moving down McAvoy for Palat. We're going to look back on it and say, God, maybe they should have done that.
Yeah, Sweeney, what are you doing?
What's the history tell you that's going to turn out to be?
Oof. Huh.
Either one of you?
What's that?
What do you think their history dictates what's going to happen from what you were just talking about?
McAvoy for Palat?
Yeah, you said looking down the road 5 years, could be a good thing or a bad thing to move with their Bruins track record. What do you think ultimately happens? Gut feeling.
I think the whole thing washes because I think McAvoy will be just as important to the Bruins as Palat is to Tampa Bay. I haven't exactly been the biggest cheerleader of Charlie McAvoy's since he was drafted. I made the opinion very clear that I wish they had drafted Jacob Chikrin, but I do see McAvoy as a guy that will be part of the core for several years to come. So I think it'll be a wash.
Cool.
You agree with that assessment, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I was pretty happy when the Bruins drafted him to begin with.
Right.
It's it is always tough to tell. If not, we'll second guess him.
Well, you're going to do that anyway, so...
Yeah. It's part of the joy of being a fan. You can do stuff like that.
Right.
Alex Weiss asking a few minutes ago, who's the most famous person in my phone? There's a couple. I can't disclose because of confidentiality, and I was asked to keep the relationships between myself and the individuals, to a one-on-one basis. But there's a couple.
Nice.
That's cool.
Oh,
Can we call? No, we cannot.
That's good. You're young and you already have somebody in your team, so to speak. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Quick score update on the Celtics. They're beating the Cavaliers 74-70 with 2 minutes left in the third.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, if you watch the game at all tonight, man, Horford is struggling big time. Whew. I'm hoping it's just like temporary, but he was missing layups and stuff tonight. It's crazy.
Wow.
You know, Stevens actually had him out like the end of the first, into the second for 8 minutes of game time, I think it was.
Turn into a Joe Klein, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm hoping he was just going through a rut or whatever, but yeah, he's got to step it up.
I remember when people were excited he was here.
Yeah, I was excited. I thought it was a good move. They needed somebody semi-high profile to come in to get another big guy to come in behind him.
How's that working out so far, Steve?
Hey, they're second in the East, so not too bad.
Yeah, well, we already know your feelings about the seeding. I think we're both on the same pace that they're really not a 2 seed.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. They certainly haven't been playing good since the All-Star break.
I mean, what a difference the NHL trade deadline was compared to the NBA. It's a buzz of activity.
Yeah, it started Monday, really. So,
right.
It was pretty cool.
And then you get, when it comes time for trades in the NFL, it's pretty much nobody.
Yeah, the
Very
Patriots.
rarely that trades seem to happen during the season in football.
Yeah, CJ saying Kelly Olynyk sucks. Completely agree with you on that one. I don't know how that guy gets so much playing time. It's pretty crazy. I guess they don't have a ton of options, but man.
And just think, Olynyk was in that party that was trying to get Durant into Boston.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
It's like you got Tom Brady, you got Isaiah, and then Kelly Olynyk. It's like, wow. We were laughing about that the other day. Hopefully, like I was saying, the Celtics pull out of their little slump, if you will, since the All-Star break. I mean, they barely beat Detroit. And the only reason they beat them is because Detroit missed 19 free throws, I think it was. So.
Wow.
Yeah, they got to step it up.
They got to string some wins together for sure.
Yeah, they only have a couple game lead now for the 2 seed.
I think a win tonight helps them exponentially, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Beat a team like Cleveland with all the players they have.
Yeah, even without Kevin Love, they're pretty good. Their second unit's really good now.
Yeah, it is. There's Darren Williams now.
Yeah. It's like, and then tonight, LeBron was coming in some with the second unit. It's like it's not even fair at times.
You got yourself a good-ass basketball team when Darren Williams is your second point guard.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Real team.
Klay Thompson's a good player too. Kelly Olynyk committing a foul, but doesn't think he's doing it.
That's typical Canadians. We don't think we've done anything wrong. You don't believe me? Look at Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
Canadians never do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Or so we think.
Oh, too. That's like NBA in general. Not, most of them never committed a foul in their life. So.
Well, you got anything else you want to talk about, Steve? You want to wrap this up?
I think I'm good for the night. Nate, you got anything to add?
Most of it would be hockey, and it would be bore you guys out of your minds, so I'm good to go.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for jumping on with us tonight. It was a lot of
Appreciate
fun
the
as
invite.
usual. You're welcome. Have a good night, guys.